for Tuesday, September 14th, 2021 is now called to order. Andre, would you please call the roll?
As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county YouTube page. It is now 5:07 p.m. Calling the roll for the Tuesday, September 14th regular council meeting. Ms. Conwell?
Here.
Ms. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Stevens?
Present.
Ms. Simon?
Here.
Ms. Baker?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Sweeney?
Present.
Mr. Tuma?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Schron?
Here.
Council President Jones?
Here.
You have a quorum.
At this time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time is our silent meditation, and I'd like us to recognize and acknowledge the loss of Reverend Stanley Miller, who's been a leader in this community for many years. He has most recently served as the government liaison person at Metro Health Hospital, but he has passed, and let's remember him at this time, as well as a moment of silence and remembrance for the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attack on September 11, 2001. Thank you. Andre, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes, we did receive public comment. Ms. Rosie Palfy.
Yes, come forward. There's a little button and a green light will come on. Hit push.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, council members. My name is Rosie Palfy. I'm a community advocate. Some of you know me already. I'm a member of the City of Cleveland Mental Health Response Advisory Committee. It was a mandate that was created under the consent decree. These are my views and mine alone. So I'm here to talk about the diversion center. Excuse me. And on the county's website, there's a beautiful picture of the county executive. And it says, "Together we thrive." That is the county motto. But we cannot thrive unless you include residents, all residents, in the decision-making process. So when a consultant was hired to do a study for the diversion center, they included government employees and elected officials and behavioral health providers, many of whom later applied for the contracts. And there were no community advocates. There were no individuals living with mental illness, addiction, or previous experience being incarcerated at the county jail. And also, Cuyahoga County has 67 law enforcement agencies with more than 4,300 police officers. And the only agency that was included was the Sheriff's Department, presumably because they run the county jail. So now we have a situation where in 4 months, only 43 people have been admitted to the diversion center. And for the last year, I have sat here in horror watching all of you who I know are very caring people. I've watched you use language that stigmatizes and criminalizes mental illness. You're referring to the clients that are going to be taken there as criminals and offenders. And if you had involved the Mental Health Response Advisory Committee and looked at the Cleveland Division of Police's data, you would have seen that from 2014 to 2019, only 1% of people in crisis were arrested and went to jail. And some of those had outstanding warrants, felony warrants and misdemeanor warrants that couldn't be diverted. And for 6 years, our committee was working on a crisis center that was open to everyone. And Councilman Tuma, I don't know if I said your name right. I'm a Parma resident. We have wonderful police officers in Parma. Parma has not called the helpline, and they have not utilized the center yet. They're one of the largest departments in the county. And so I'm asking you all to consider open access for all residents. And also, I would encourage the executive and the council members to please send letters to the mayors asking them to use the center.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lou?
Good evening. I'm glad we are all back in business to make the county a better place. People can live and thrive. However, we already have Ms. Palfy pointed out the not very thoughtful process and dysfunctional stage with the diversion center. And I'm here again to give you another location, same thing. Dysfunctional and not really a good service. County government, especially county council members, you actually intended to offer. Day in, day out, people have to struggle with all the strange things they do not think being homeless should have faced. Today you received my emails late, but still, you should be able to see maybe on your phone, the photos evidence are included as 2 examples here. Due to the COVID-19, all shelters will put on some measurements to help people out. However, if you put out a new sign telling people the curfew time, why your employees never followed it? So people coming back to the shelter at a certain time due to they're working at the odd shift, or they have a family emergency, they are rejected to coming back into the shelter. The sign will tell you the time actually is 7 a.m. People should be able to come back in if they had to leave out the previous night. However, we have multiple people getting rejected. They were not permitted to come in until 8. So one particular person, due to this kind of a thing, it triggered her conditions, so now she's still in the psych ward. Another example you can also see, breakfast time. You can see that on the clock. This clock is a little bit slow. I would show you the photo time also on the paper here, which will be on your phone or computer. It's not even 9 a.m. yet. The clock is already slow. But still, if you officially said the breakfast time is 8 a.m. to 9:30, how come the window is already closed? Now, by the way, county has made a very big investment to buy the extra space in order to help the homeless guys to have a proper place to stay, to work on their housing and jobs and other issues. But look at the building infrastructure. This particular room inside of Norma Hill, actually in the past, I could see the daylight from outside. I could experience the extreme cold wind from outside. Now it's only clogged. But the building infrastructure is not safe. Do you really think the new building will be safe for people to stay? I doubt. Thank you for the help.
Are there any other public comments?
No, Mr. Chair, there's no further public comments being submitted.
All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve our minutes as printed on the program, on our agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Last Friday was a dark day for Cuyahoga County. As you know, former Cuyahoga County Regional Jail Administrator Ken Mills was found guilty by a jury on 4 charges, including 2 counts directly related to this body. Cuyahoga County Council. He was found guilty of 2 charges of falsification for lying to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee on May 22, 2018, in this very room at that podium. This council appropriates billions of dollars to departments, agencies, and other elected officials. We approve hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts and agreements, and we authorize policies and procedures through legislation that will impact generations to come. I know all of us take that responsibility very seriously. Friday's verdict has hopefully sent a strong message to all who come before this body. It is incumbent upon every county employee, every elected official, every vendor, and all members of the public who present to this body that they must be open, honest, and transparent. They must provide accurate information and be truthful during council and committee meetings. The council cannot properly execute its duties if people are knowingly or purposefully lying to us. We must have honest and accurate information to fulfill our charter mandate responsibilities. Over the last couple of years, the county and this council have made tremendous strides in improving the safety and operations within the county jail, including hiring Metro Health to oversee health care, increasing the number of correction officers, providing higher wages to those officers, opening a diversion center, planning for central booking, and perhaps most importantly, approving a council-led charter amendment to ensure greater autonomy to our county sheriff. County Council will continue to remain vigilant in overseeing the continued progress in our county jail. Thank you. At this time, I will turn it over to our county executive for his messages.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the city of Cleveland, today is Election Day. The voters will narrow the field for mayor to 2. This is a huge, important election. It's the first time in 16 years that Frank Jackson will not be on the ballot. The job of mayor is very, very important for the future of our region. So you would think everybody would come out to vote. Unfortunately, that's not happening. At this point, the in-person voting is at about 7%. And total turnout in Cleveland, including early vote, right now is about 12%. That's about 30,000 voters. And Board of Elections Director Tony Perlotti is predicting the turnout may get up to 15%, but that's about it. Some areas are doing better than others. Ward 17 is the highest at 22.6% turnout. Wards 13 and 1 are over 15%, and Ward 4 is at 14%. But some wards are doing much worse. Ward 5 is at 6.8%, and Ward 14's below 6%. And remember, these are percentages of registered voters, not all eligible adults. Our county charter recognizes that voting is a fundamental right. It's just very sad that so many of our residents fail to exercise that right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Legislation introduced by council. Consideration of resolutions of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2021-0196, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County Non-Bargaining Classification Plan.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Note, Council Rule 9C allows for the reading of very similar items by abbreviated titles. Therefore, items 3 through 7 will be read into the record by abbreviated titles if there are no objections. Resolution 2021-0197, supporting an application for funding under the Clean Ohio Fund Green Space Conservation Program, available through the Ohio Public Works Commission on behalf of West Creek Conservancy for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the Baldwin Creek Conservation Initiative in the city of Parma.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2021-0198, supporting an application for funding for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the Mill Creek Greenway in the city of Warrensville Heights.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2021-0199, supporting an application for funding for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the West Creek Greenway in the city of Parma.
Again, this item is referred to Education, Environment, and Sustainability.
Resolution 2021-0200, supporting an application for funding for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the Zalcon River Landing in the city of Cleveland.
This item is referred to Education, Environment, and Sustainability.
Resolution 2021-0201, supporting an application for funding for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the Huff Community Green Space in the city of Cleveland.
This item is also referred to Education, Environment, and Sustainability.
Resolution 2021-0202, supporting an application for funding for the conservation of ecologically significant areas in the Shelter Hill Forest Springs in the village of Hunting Valley.
And this item is referred to Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2021-0203, amending the 2020-2021 biennial operating budget for 2021 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations for appropriation transfers and cash transfers. Amending resolution number 2021-0090, dated April 13th, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. Director Parfiowitz answered the questions we sent, and the answers have been circulated. Most items are routine adjustments or appropriations or closeouts of grants. Notable is the appropriation of $12,917,500 for previously approved economic development projects, of which the $5 million each for the Huntington Building redevelopment and the Jump Start investment are the largest. We are also appropriating $16,910,101 from reserves for three major capital projects: $7,276,447 for the new Juvenile Justice Center security system, and $5,633,654 for the emergency work at the old Juvenile Justice Center, and $4 million for the criteria architect for the new jail. Regarding the jail, the current jail population is 1,700 and rising. We must buckle down, get everyone working together, and execute our plan for jail population management in order to achieve our plan to build the new jail for 1,600 cells. An increase in 300 cells in the new jail size would cost the county $400 million over the life of the project, money that could be much better spent helping people make their lives better. I support the resolution as presented on first reading suspension.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0204, accepting the rates as determined by the Budget Commission, authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county fiscal officer.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, my colleagues, this is a routine item required to confirm our tax rates for the coming year, and I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. This resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0205, approving an amendment to a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, representing employees in the classification of correction officer at the Sheriff's Department for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2022, to modify Article 14, wages, Article 24, overtime, Article 32, health and safety, Article 47, sick leave, Article 52, injury, illness leave, and Article 54, bereavement leave.
Move to adopt.
Second, Brown.
Moved and seconded. This item was previously heard, discussed in executive session, and I ask for my colleague's support.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I would like to add my name in support of the wage increase.
Is that Councilwoman Simon's name? Again, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2021-0206, confirming the county executive's appointments of various individuals to serve on the Commission of Human Rights for various terms for the following individuals: Chad M. Exbuler for the term March 1st, 2021 through February 28th, 2024. Natalia Steele for the term March 1st, 2021 through February 28th, 2023. And Elise Hara Avul for the term March 1st, 2021 through February 28th, 2022.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2021-0207, confirming the county executive's appointment of E. Harry Walker, M.D., to serve on the Metro Health System Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending March 4th, 2025.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2021-0208, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County for the term July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2025 for the following individuals: Reginald C. Blue and Harvey A. Snyder.
This item will also be referred to the Human Resources, Appointment, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2021-0209, confirming the county executive's appointment of Lenora M. Lockett upon her taking the oath of office as Director of the Department of Equity and Inclusion.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2021-0210, authorizing a hospital facility agreement in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 140.03, with the Metro Health System for the transfer of various parcels of real property identified in Attachment A hereto, titled in various county-related entities and currently being used for public hospital purposes, to the Board of Trustees of the Metro Health System.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0211, authorizing an amendment to contract number 1689 with the Savron Group, LLC, for lease of office space located at 12100 Snow Road in Parma for use by Fiscal Office Auto Title Bureau, Satellite Office Number 4, for the period November 1st, 2006 through October 31st, 2021, to assign interest to Enterprise BMV LLC, effective November 1st, 2021, to extend the time period to October 31st, 2026, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $333,182.16.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0212, authorizing an amendment to contract number 1255 with K&Z Mutual Realty, LLC, as successor in interest to Mutual Investment Properties, LLC, for lease of office space located at 9830 Lorraine Avenue, Cleveland, for the period October 1st, 2006 through September 30th, 2021, to extend the time period to September 30th, 2026, to add a provision for an option to purchase premises and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,617,000.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0213, authorizing an amendment to an agreement with Progressive Casualty Insurance Company for lease of land and corporate hangar facility at the Cuyahoga County Airport, located at 26340 Curtis Wright Parkway in Richmond Heights. It's for the period October 1st, 2006 through September 30th, 2021, to extend the time period to September 30th, 2026, and for additional revenue in the amount of $568,500.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0214, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program to Skills Employment and Training Services. It's for the period October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021, to extend the time period to September 30th, 2022, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $1,108,274,274, and it's for the following, providers A through H as listed on the agenda.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2021-0215, authorizing an amendment to contract number 824 with Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry for operations and case management services for a 365-bed men's emergency shelter located at 2100 Lakeside Avenue, Cleveland, and for facilitation and coordination of overflow shelter services for single adults and families at various locations. It's for the period January 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $768,609.21.
This item will also be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0177, making an award on requisition 6320 to Cold Harbor Building Company in the amount not to exceed $5,310,000 for hazardous material abatement, debris removal, and building envelope mitigation and temporary electrical infrastructure and security hardening of the old juvenile court complex.
Motion to adopt.
Can you please turn your microphone on?
Second, Conwell.
Thank you.
And, Mr. President, this item was initially heard at Public Works Committee on July 28, 2021, with a second full reading on August 3rd, 2021. This is dealing with the old juvenile court. The building is currently unsafe and not secure, contains hazardous materials, including lead paint, and the building needs to be secured in order to prevent harm to people and limit county legal exposure potentially. They'd like to start work on it immediately, and the expected completion is by September of 2022. So I'd ask my colleagues' support on at least taking the steps necessary to abate this situation here.
Excellent. Securing this building is certainly is a priority. It's in my district, and Andre, if you would, please add my name to this item. And all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of an ordinance for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance 2021-0015, and codified ordinance authorizing the county executive to provide a one-time bonus to bargaining and non-bargaining county employees who have received the COVID-19 vaccine.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee. Committee reports and consideration of ordinances for third reading adoption.
Ordinance 2021-0003, amending Section 202.04 of the Cuyahoga County Code to establish a division of public utilities within the Department of Public Works.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I'm sorry, who had that second?
Simon?
Thank you.
Right, so we have been discussing the microgrid for many, many weeks now. We have had many questions by this council, and many of these answers have been addressed. And at this time, I would recommend it for passage, and I ask my colleagues for support. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Perhaps let's do roll call, Andrea.
At this time, calling the roll, Ms. Baker,
No.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Tuma,
Yes, with a brief comment. This legislation simply allows our Department of Public Works the tools to access having future ability to have this potential grid. So I think it's very important to get this thing moving along, and it just is simply providing them with an opportunity to be able to have the ability to have a grid at some point. So it's very forward-looking. Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Gallagher. Can you turn on your microphone, please?
Sorry, ma'am.
Thank you.
We did ask a lot of questions, and we vetted this rather extensively, and I still have questions about it. But the questions that I had were answered. I don't know if to the full extent that they were, but as best as they could be. So I'm willing to roll the dice on this to see where it takes us, with the understanding that anything that they do has to come before the council for approval. So therefore, I vote yes.
Mr. Schran.
Before I vote again, I also asked a number of questions and was convinced that the timing is not right, and that this is not the proper place to be opening up a brand new department with little experience and no background in regards to it. And the experts that were brought forward actually indicated that they'd been practicing this for over 10 years and could not find it. One of the expert witnesses that were brought forward did not even identify that they had put forth a microgrid that was successful in that area that was brought forward. So with that, I will rather sit on and wait to see whether or not we can find communities that are interested, and then in which case it could come back again before us. But obviously,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your vote.
no, sorry.
Thank you. Ms. Conwell,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Simon,
Yes, with a comment. I just want to say thank you for everybody's patience, and I don't think we can afford to wait. I don't think we can stand back when we're watching what's happening with climate change. I talk about this a lot, but we're seeing it right in front of us unfold. Hurricane Ida, we watched the traditional grid go down. There's no electricity. This is what's coming. This is what's here. If we can implement some type of alternative way to get energy to our residents, sustainable, renewable, then we are ahead of the game, and we can't afford to sit back, and if we do, it's to our peril. Thank you, and it's a yes.
Mr. President,
Councilman?
I also desired to make some brief comment. May I do so?
Andrea, have you gone through,
no.
at your opportunity, Councilman Miller, as she continues her roll call?
Okay, and also Council President Jones.
Yes. And at this time, Councilman Miller, if you have any comments.
Thank you very much. I strongly support this legislation to enable creation of a county utility. This action will enhance our potential to implement innovative new projects to expand the availability of clean, reliable energy sources, thereby responding positively to climate change. We have been very fortunate in our weather, but the extreme wildfires in California, Greece, and Australia, and the devastating hurricanes in Louisiana and the Northeast show that climate change is a current reality, not a future threat. And we must all do everything possible to respond effectively, and this legislation is a positive step in that direction. Thank you.
At this time, the item is approved by majority vote with 9 council members voting in the affirmative and 2 council members casting dissenting votes.
All right,
The
thank
item
you.
passes and the motion carries.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, you can read the next item into the record.
Ordinance 02-021-0012, an uncodified ordinance authorizing the county executive, county sheriff, and director of human resources to provide certain benefits to employees in the classification of corrections officer lieutenant within the sheriff's department.
Move to-
adopt. Sherrod.
Second, Brown.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Council President, I believe this was heard in Human Resource Appointment at Equity a while ago, and this gives the county executive the authority to have additional benefits in the area of roll call pay, holiday pay, longevity, and uniform allowances, and I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. The ordinance is adopted. At this time, are there any miscellaneous committee reports?
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President and my colleagues, Finance and Budget will meet at our next regular time on Monday, September 20th at 1 p.m. County Financial Advisor Bob Franz will present regarding county debt capacity and options for long-term financing of major capital projects. The next ERP updates are on October 4th and October 7th. The first full parallel test of the new payroll and WFM system is now underway. And under miscellaneous business, I would like to enthusiastically congratulate my colleague Chantel Brown in the primary election for U.S. Congress. It has the potential to be the highest elevation achieved by any member of this body. Thank you.
Thank you. In keeping with my current responsibilities, we will have a Human Resource Appointment and Equity Committee next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, our regularly scheduled time. But thank you again.
Right. Next,
Mr. President? Or- go ahead.
Councilwoman Simon, if you would give your report.
Committee meeting for Environment Sustainability, Wednesday, the 22nd, 3 p.m., to hear the items referred in a presentation from Gun Foundation.
Okay. Mr. President, Public Works Wednesday at its usually scheduled time.
And Mr. President,
Councilwoman.
the Council Operations, Intergovernmental Relations, and Public Transportation Committee will meet next Tuesday, September 21st at 3 o'clock.
Mr. President, Health and Human Services will be Wednesday on 9/20 at 1 o'clock.
Anyone else?
Council member, if you could turn your microphone on.
I want to remind everyone who lives everywhere from Bay Village to Solon that have primaries today. There are 8 communities that have primaries. In addition to Cleveland, there are 7. And those folks have very, very important primaries in their communities as well. If you are watching this and it's not too late, please go and vote before 7:30, either at your regional area or pull the ballot downtown, because it's open if you are downtown and don't think you can make it out to your home poll.
All right, thank you. All right, any other miscellaneous business?
Very briefly.
Councilman.
Thank you very much. Just on the microgrid, Mr. President, I want to thank you for your leadership and, most importantly, as Councilwoman Simon said, your patience. So that's my use of miscellaneous at this particular time. Thank you.
Any further comments? All right, if not, if nothing else holds our attention, our council meeting is adjourned.